Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, Newcastle's #1 film, TV, and gaming podcast. That's up to your mother. My name is Dylan, and as always, with my co-host,
Willy Wagtail. And come on, everybody, get your Ubenium and your popcorn ready because it's time for 2C3 Pod. Hindenburg, go bang!
Cha-cha! And we are alive.
You know, man, if we ever make it home, I'm gonna do so much fucking cocaine. I'm gonna rape so many fine bitches. I'll be like, what time is it? After 5 o'clock? Damn, time to go rape me some fine bitches.
Okay, so I thought I knew where that was going, and then you said rape some bitches. I've got no idea. Is this like a Vietnam War film?
I thought you might have had a chance, but I know you hate the movie, but it was Walter Goggins in Predators 2010.
He does say that. That's of course, yeah.
That's why I quoted it.
Yeah, like, I like that movie, but there's a lot of things wrong with it. Yeah, Walton Goggins is fantastic. We'll talk about that later in the episode.
Oh, yes, we will. 100%.
But yes, I remember that now. He played a psychopath. That was the whole arc of that character. Anyway, welcome everybody to another episode of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. My name is Dylan, and of course, with my co-host, Willy Wagtail. And we've got another ripping episode to get into, but before we do that, we do have to announce our social media accounts. You can certainly find us just by Googling 2C3 Pod. It's in the title. Simple. Just Google it. Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely. And make sure wherever you're listening to us, it is on your preferred platform, of course. We're available across the board. Just as simple as finding the social medias. 2C3 Pod. That's it. But we do have a cliche slogan, of course.
Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. Big Summer Blowout. Now, if you want to support the show as well, you can certainly find us over on...
Facebook and Instagram.
I know, I can see it coming. But of course, Redbubble and tpublic.com, but we'll get more into that later on in the episode, of course.
And more importantly, Patreon, 2C3 Pod.
Well.
Many benefits over there, including a fantastic shout out, and that will happen at the end of the show for some lovely, lovely people.
That's right, so stick around for all of that at the very end. But for now, we've got actual podcasting content to get through. Now, extra, listen all about it. We've got a stacked list of things to talk about this week, especially in the movie and TV topics.
Of course.
But also in the gaming realm. But to get started, this is one that I had ready to go to put in the notes. And then I went to put... Yeah, and then you beat me to it. So let's talk about it. James Bond.
Absolutely. So we've already heard that James Bond originally got pushed back to next month, which was exciting. And then, of course, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they eventually did do what we expected and pushed it back to middle of next year, of course, where all of the big movies have gone so far. But... they were apparently doing a little bit of a looky-loo at taking James Bond, this huge monster theatrical event that's been around for, what, fucking 50, 60, 70, 80 years? I don't know. God,
a long time.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. How old is Sean Connery?
64. I don't know.
When do we talk about the films anyway? The character of James Bond from Ian Fleming has been around for a lot longer, but the film, theatrical cinematic universe that it is.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But either way, they actually considered the idea of heading to a streaming service.
Isn't that crazy to think that at this particular point in history, cinematic history, of course, there's so much that has not and also has happened in such a short amount of time that, we always talk about the idea of cinema will never die. Yeah. And obviously the age of the internet and accessibility with modern entertainment, we are overwhelmed and inundated with 100,000 million different options. So when you say there's nothing to watch, it's because there is too much option.
Yes.
And you just cannot make up your mind, your millennial mind, about what to watch.
Exactly.
But the fact that something as massive as this, they were trying to sell this to a streaming service. And essentially, I mean, the dollars are massive. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Oh, absolutely.
But they were exploring options to try and sell this to a streaming service, so that way we can watch it earlier. Yeah. And they would make some bank on it anyway.
Well, they would make some bank, but it would not be anywhere what they were targeting for this originally.
Well, that's the thing. They could bring it out now in cinemas, and it would still bring him some money. But the juggling would be between, okay, where's America at the moment, and the Chinese market, and what kind of money would it make in comparison to a $600 million deal going to a streaming service, aka Netflix or Amazon?
That would definitely cover the budget. It would probably cover the losses that they've experienced as well. Because just with the delays right now, they've already lost $30 to $50 million. So that's already a loss. And then you tack that onto what I think it's a $400 million budget.
Yep.
So they would be taking this at basically an even level and just going, all right, this is the wash. But
yeah, I mean, when you look at a film budget perspective, you can go, okay, this budget is like $300 million for a massively big movie, but then you've also added on marketing costs and things like that. So fair enough, you might say, oh, it made back its budget, but then you also have to factor in marketing and all that kind of world tours and things like that. So to make 600 grand back, fair enough, the film may not have cost that much to make.
No, that's
but
exactly
all
right.
the post-production stuff as well, that was probably them trying to break even and get this out the door.
That's exactly right, 100%. Yeah. And if you compare it to something along the lines of like Tenet from earlier in the year, that did actually stick to its guns and just go, all right, fuck it, we're going to release it. So
test the waters with something massive.
Exactly.
And,
I think that definitely, not long, probably a month or two after Tenet came out, really did set the bar for, all right, we're pushing everything big back to next year when everywhere is open. Because Tenet, $205 million budget, and currently US gross is $52 million. Woeful. But worldwide, they're at 341. So they've made slight money. But for a Christopher Nolan epic, that's terrible.
But in saying that too,
Tenet in the regular world, if the virus didn't exist, is a $1 billion film.
But well, that's right. But going back to what we mentioned, what I mentioned a moment ago regarding like marketing costs.
Exactly.
We saw it all over the internet. It was on TV. It was on Twitch. It was on YouTube. So they marketed the fuck out of that film as well.
Exactly right. And
they never really talk about whether they make that back as well.
Exactly. So you're looking at 205 into 341. They're probably breaking even at best with this film, and it's no fault to Tenet or the studio. They just decided, hey, we're going to give it a crack. And I think James Bond got cold feet. They probably explored the options. I think with Apple and Netflix, they had serious conversations, but $600 million would probably give them maybe like $100 million profit.
Well, the thing is, like,
which sounds like, oh my god, but it's
being produced by
nothing.
Like MGM Productions, which has done all of the previous ones before.
When the lion roars.
That's right, of course. But like they've already dipped their toes in that particular style of film release with Greyhound, Tom Hanks' Greyhound, and Coming to America, and Without Remorse, a few other films as well, where they've gone, okay, we'll bypass the cinematic release and drop a big film, especially with Greyhound. We have no idea whether that film's good, but it's a big production. Tom Hanks.
Tradition, I see.
I was going to replace this before we started, but I ran out of time.
I had to. Yeah. But no, I assume what they did with Greyhound and getting the backlash from Tom Hanks, and then this one being Daniel Craig's final Bond film, they probably eventually allegedly. Like, hey, we tested the waters and saw the idea. We saw the dollar figures we could have made. We ran it up the spreadsheets and shit, and fuck it, we're just going to wait until mid next year and hope the world's back to normal. It will be good to keep an eye on the box office gross when this film does come out.
Yeah. We'll be keeping up on it.
No, I know, but if it makes $550 million, be like, ooh, tough titties.
Waited up.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, no.
And you know what? When you look at it from a celebrity perspective and a filmmaker's perspective, they would have been like, it didn't perform anywhere near as well as the talent that I poured into this project.
Oh, exactly.
This is the
greatest experience.
So it all comes back to that. You could be like filmmakers like Bloody Hell, which we reviewed last week, and we've actually had a little bit of interaction with the producers of that, where they've actually shown an appreciation for our review. Looking further into that film, they were lucky that they got a theatrical release, because they do make sort of indie Aussie films. God damn it. And it's good that they got it out there. When you look at films like this with No Time to Die, this is a huge wank fest. So
big time.
This isn't. They're not going to go, okay, we want this to go to Netflix and Apple because we want our artwork to be out there. It's like, no, we need to make a profit on this.
Exactly,
that's what this whole thing is about.
It all comes back down to money. But speaking on
the film will probably be fine.
It'll be serviceable.
Oh yeah,
exactly. But speaking of those like lower indie films and stuff, we're going to look back on 2020 as the year of the indie film.
Oh yeah, because
like the shit we've been able to see through the theaters at the moment and the stuff that we're going to get as well, because there's no other option. It's giving independent filmmakers a really good chance. So I love that.
Yeah, to get on the big screen, because that's where everybody wants to be.
Exactly, that's right. All right, moving along to our next topic that we have here for the week. A little bit of a Rick and Morty news.
Yeah, anybody who's a fan of Rick and Morty, get excited because season 5 is on schedule, which is good.
Exactly, and again, another positive of the COVID virus. Everybody's in lockdown, so
everybody's working.
Dan Harmon's basically, I assume, just like, well, I've got to work. Like, I have to. I'm here, you can't procrastinate anymore. So,
and the good thing about cartoon and animation, it's a lot like video game production, where I've kept up to date with a lot of like video game production companies and indie developers, where they say, well, we're all working from home, but it means that we're focused, we're in our own environment, and we can actually pour out better, more focused content. So this is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And I believe I said right at the beginning of this virus shit, I said, imagine the shit we're going to get, and I preemptively said 2021, but not knowing how serious this would be. But imagine the shit we're going to get in 2022. All of the creative
Rick and Morty will still be out by 2025. As their track record goes.
Well, yeah, no. I assume that it's still going to they'll probably play into that running joke. It'll be done and they'll be working on season 6 and they'll just be like, nah, fucking hold it another 3 months. Like, just to fuck with the fans.
I just hope, to fuck with the fans, of course. I know that they've also been, it was Justin Roiland. It wasn't Dan Harmon that focused on Solar Opposites. Was that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so definitely. It's good that there's going to be more focus on Rick and Morty because we can actually watch it here in Australia. We don't 100%. Have Hulu, I think it is.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I would like out of season 5 of Rick and Morty, being a Rick and Morty fan, is to move back to its roots, essentially. I know it only sort of sidesteps with season 4, where it was only a few episodes long, and each episode was its own story, which I do like that idea, but the previous seasons did have a continuity.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, leading up to, like, whatever aliens it was trying to uncover.
Season 5 seemed to have, like, more continuity.
I don't think... Oh, no, this isn't season 5.
Oh, my bad.
No, the way I remember season 4 is that every single story was its own thing, and there was very little... There wasn't a broader perspective, is what I'm saying.
Okay, right, yeah.
Fair enough, like, season 1 to 3 had individual stories within each episode, but it did also connect this overall narrative, which was leading to, like, the finale of season 3, which...
was Rick going to prison.
That's right, yeah. So I really liked that journey.
Okay,
I'm hoping for another journey.
Honestly,
of self-discovery and whimsical adventures. That's what I want to see out of season 5.
Honestly, I just enjoy Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Regardless of
I know you're not bagging on the show at all, but honestly, I like Dan Harmon. I like what he does.
Yeah,
I'm okay with accepting anything, and the fact that there's even a hint that it might be on schedule, and coming at an appropriate time. Okay, that's good,
Yeah.
So that's another positive coming out of this terrible worldly situation that we're in.
Yeah. Now, talking about positives as well, I mean, do we have any... The last few weeks we've reported on a particular actor that's had an illness or somebody's passed away.
Oh, right, yeah.
We don't have any of that this week, I don't think.
No, I did see something about a screenwriter from the fucking 40s or something died, and I was like, I don't know you, man.
It's not news yet.
Sorry, yeah. So, no, that's good. That's good, bro.
Yeah, we've got positive podcasting today this week.
Woo! Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, moving on to something else that's also very positive regarding the film TV industry.
Absolutely.
Is Michael B. Jordan stepping into a directorial role.
Exactly, and especially with a franchise that he is the star of. So Creed 3, which is in the works at the moment, there is talks of Michael B. Jordan being the director.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic news because we've discussed many times we are huge proponents of actors and people working in the industry expanding their roles and putting their talents where they should be, There are some mistakes that get made with actors being directors and it's just kind of like, ooh, not so good, you know? But
that's right.
There are plenty of examples of actors stepping into producing roles and it's fantastic, and if they've got the talent to be on screen, surely they've got the mind to be behind it.
Well, that's right. A lot of these people that are on screen do have that creative mind, and it's just a matter of them expressing, because from what I've seen with interviews and videos from filmmakers and things over the years, there's thousands of them on YouTube. There's always that extra level of, okay, yes, I am an actor first and foremost, but there's that creative side of me which wants to get behind the camera. And I can't say from experience, but from making like short films and things back in high school and working on the podcast and things like that, there is something about being on the podcast and being in front of the camera and being live and all that, but there's also an extra level of joy for me actually making the thing rather than being in it.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that idea of like, okay, I've been the actor, I've done that. Let's produce something. Let's direct other people and let's build this craft.
Yeah.
So I definitely see where he's coming from. And I'm a huge fan of the Rocky series.
Yeah.
And I own Creed 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I still just haven't sat down to watch them yet. I've owned them forever, I really need to.
I've heard, especially for a spin-off series, essentially, I've heard that they're fucking phenomenal.
That's why I bought them.
I haven't watched them either. I know. And that's the thing. We always say we just don't have time for this kind of stuff and that. And then I've watched like 4 movies this week at home, and I'm like, but none of the ones I should have.
Well, that's the thing too. But not only that, but we'll rewatch reruns of Rick and Morty, but we won't sit down to watch fucking Creed 3.
I am currently on my way to getting into the 3rd season of Everybody Loves Raymond. You know, a sitcom from 98 to 2005.
That's right.
You know, like,
but we all have things we enjoy.
Exactly,
so.
that's right.
Yeah.
So we all have those crutches. But
that's
Michael
right.
B. Jordan, that's awesome, especially somebody who's still relatively young. Exactly. I believe he's, early 30s maybe?
He's probably like 24, who knows?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's right, yeah. But anyway, moving on now, you've added some notes here, and it features one of our boys. One of the boys. Oh, our favorite boy.
The boys.
Exactly. He is on the pedestal with the other boy, Lee Winnell, as the boy.
The boys.
They are the boy.
That's right. That's right.
Amazon's the boy.
That's right. So overall, new movie news is a little bit light this week, as it has been for a while. But I saw this on the internet a little while ago on Instagram, and it definitely piqued my interest about the Conjuring 2 film, obviously written and directed by our boy James Wan, who's gone on to do other things, but we know anybody who's seen the Conjuring films. The first one was pretty good. Second one was also pretty good.
Yeah,
and then
I've enjoyed them.
And then it spawned 100,000 other crappy spin-offs.
Not through our boy's fault.
No, that's right. So other film directors have come in and tried to put their own spin on, and some of them have been good, some of them have been a bit.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
But in saying that, there's some interesting news. Like he's also James Wan has come out and made a statement saying that he's relieved that he's not going to be directing The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, that he's actually passing the baton to the director of, or the person who's directing Conjuring 3 is the guy who did Curse of La Llorona.
Michael Chavez?
That's however you pronounce it.
Yeah, Chavez or Chaves.
Chaves. We'll go with Chaves.
Yeah, Chaves.
Which is weird because that's like the worst of all of those films.
Yeah.
But it goes to show that there must be something there for James Wan to give his approval and go, okay, here's pass the torch.
Yeah.
But in saying that, because of how The Conjuring 2 played out and how generic a lot of the elements were, especially the demon being the nun, spoiler alert, I was kind of like, okay, that's very on the nose.
Yeah. Oh.
There's a reveal that the original villain of the story, the original demon, was a giant animatronic demon thing.
Oh.
Have you seen the photos of this?
Yes, I did.
God damn it! I want this movie.
Well,
fuck the nun. I don't care about the nun. Give me a big ugly demon.
I was going to say we missed it. Like you say, you want this movie, but it's gone. Like we missed the chance.
That's what I'm saying.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. I believe it's called Valak.
Valak. But this was originally the. If you want to look at this up,
so dope.
Pause the podcast now and Google James Wan Conjuring 2 animatronic demon.
Yeah.
It was replaced by Valak the Nun, but it was originally going to be something different, which the animatronic was originally going to be used for a Castlevania movie, which he was producing many years ago, which is a video game property. I'm not sure whether there was a connection, but that never went through.
Yeah, so these still images. So did they shoot some stuff with this animatronic?
Well, they've said in all of the articles and his description that it was sort of a last-minute decision to swap out this demon for the nun because it seemed to fit the story a bit better because it was set in a home.
No, fuck that noise.
Right.
Go for the shock factor at the end.
Go for the demon. But in saying that, I don't think they actually filmed it. I think it was more right before we start filming.
Because it looks like it's on set. It looks like it's on set.
Yeah. You know? So I don't think they actually filmed it, the whole thing, and then CGI'd the nun over it. I think they got close to production and then they turned around in the last minute.
But most people, when they walk out of a movie theater, they're remembering the last thing they saw. If you saw that, the last thing, you'd be like, fuck. And it sounds exactly like out of his wheelhouse because he's such a traditional filmmaker.
Yes.
That him doing an animatronic like that would just take him back to those
Insidious,
old school horrors, you know?
Insidious had live action demons.
Exactly.
That was the sound engineer in makeup.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So that's what I mean. He's a very traditionalist and he's probably been wanting to do an Shut up. Wanting to do an animatronic of sorts.
Yeah.
There you go. Take a drink.
I will, yes.
Exactly. But no, it looks dope. It's unfortunate that it didn't happen, but like you said, I mean, the world goes on.
Yeah, we've missed out, but hopefully they can
it spawned the Nun movie, so lucky us, right?
Oh, yeah. Is
there still only one Nun movie?
Yes.
I think there is, right?
I think they were talking about spinning that off into its own universe, but
how?
Fuck that noise.
Fucking they did that. They took it from The Conjuring and made it into its own universe. Fucking
leave it
stop.
There. Yeah.
Just stop.
But money, man. There's money to be made.
Exactly, I know.
From kids who like to go, in the cinema.
James Wan's got to be worth a bucket load now with the shit that he's created.
Oh,
and Lee Winnell as well.
Fast and Furious.
Such an unknown human, but
Unknown human.
No, but you know what I mean?
Drink.
He's exactly, there you go. But no, considering he's mostly been behind the camera for most of his life, and then most of his career, and then the little roles that he's had on screen, it's not like they're major roles. So Lee Winnell would be pretty unknown to just a regular moviegoer, but he's been the mind behind so much of this stuff.
Well, that's the thing with James Wan. We've talked about this in the archives, of course. Like, he's gone on to do Fast and Furious 7, as well as Aquaman, and was he producer of the last Star Trek? I don't think he was a director, or was that somebody else?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, he's gone on to do other projects which have been bigger and better and fantastical and whatever else, but he's obviously returning to his roots with Malignant, which we're very much looking forward to. But we missed out on a really golden opportunity for a big ugly animatronic. Which, you know us, we like our practical effects.
Exactly, that's right. So, do we want to move past the next bit because we just kind of basically
talked about it? Yeah,
exactly, that's right.
What about the next one regarding our favourite horror studio, Blumhouse Productions?
Well, Blumhouse apparently, news to both of us, had planned a virtual festival.
Yep.
Showcasing how great they are, and deservedly so, basically.
Yes.
But apparently they cancelled it, and it's been uncancelled.
Yeah, so
yay!
little did we know that Blumhouse Productions, if you're unfamiliar with that, Google that as well. They've produced a lot of the horror films that you like.
Absolutely.
They actually put on a virtual horror con every year where they celebrate the movies that they've already produced and talk about the things that are up and coming.
Yes.
It was cancelled, obviously, due to COVID, and now it's been uncancelled, which is great because it's obviously going to be online.
Yeah.
But essentially the same thing goes. They're going to be talking about what they've already discussed. It's going to be streaming to their YouTube and Facebook account.
But
10 a.m. on October 29th.
No, that's Pacific Standard Time, so that's American. So if you're an Australian listener, that'll be Friday about middle of the day, thereabouts. But there's a little quote here from Jason Blum, of course. Producer, Blumhouse CEO, of course. This year has sidelined a lot for all of us, but Halloween is a treasured season at Blumhouse, so we conceived Blumfest to celebrate with our fans via a virtual event that will feature exclusive interviews, never before seen footage, on an upcoming release or two. So, yeah, exactly. So basically, essentially, like TwitchCon or Comic-Con for them.
That's right.
That's it.
And I think that's fantastic that these smaller groups get to have these opportunities and put on these festivals. Like, obviously, they can't put on, like, an exhibition of just them. So doing it online is great because they can do it through Discord, like QuakeCon did this year.
Absolutely.
And all of those things. But what's got me excited about it is that we get a little bit more information regarding their upcoming films, Freaky.
Yes.
Which... I saw a trailer of that in the cinemas. Oh, man, I cannot wait for that movie.
I know. When we reviewed that for Trailer Park, I was like, this is like my most anticipated film of the year so far. I was so excited for it, and then I've seen it in the cinema as well. It's so good.
But of course, Halloween Kills.
Of course, exactly. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be coming out right now. It would be in YASSS this fucking week, if not for this COVID shit, but understandably so, being pushed back 12 months. But unfortunately, that also pushed back Halloween Ends 12 months, which was coming out 1 year to
so it gives us another year to have our Christmas Eve of Halloween movies. Looking forward to the event. Despite that it's been pushed back.
I mean, the fact that time though is moving so fucking quickly gives me optimism that by next year we'll be ready for it. So that's exciting. But not only that, there is a Blumhouse film taking its spot this week in YASSS to look forward to. So excellent. There is that, of course. But so Blum, what was it called?
Blumhouse HorrorCon?
Blumcon. Blumfest.
Blumkin.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was called Blumkin.
Exactly. But Blumfest, make sure to check that out if you're intrigued. I definitely am.
Yeah, I think we'll be talking more about what they actually talked about and revealed.
More intriguing and exciting news. Oh, yes, I mean, this is what we look forward to, man. We look forward to the build-up of tearing this to shit until we watch it and go, it's exactly what we expected and we loved it.
Oh, yeah. So the idea of this, to me, is fantastic. So looking at it from the perspective of it's going to be terrible, you know what? I'm looking at this with optimism.
Yes.
Adam Sandler, now before you turn off this podcast, is starring in an upcoming Netflix science fiction adaptation of the Spaceman of Bohemia. And it's being revived for... So it's essentially, it's a science fiction space film starring Adam Sandler.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
I don't know much about it.
I love Netflix's tweet announcing this news. Yes. Adam Sandler is going to space.
Yep. Straight up.
Bam. Like, as in you've already got me suckered in. Okay?
That's right.
Simple as that.
To continue that tweet, in director Johan Renk's upcoming adaptation of Spaceman of Bohemia, the author Jaroslav Kalfa, an astronaut, played by Adam Sandler, sent to the edge of the galaxy, discovers a creature from the beginning of time lurking within his ship.
So Jesus is lurking.
Jesus the alien.
Adam and Eve.
Jesus the alien from the edge of the galaxy is lurking within his spaceship. That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But seriously, just like as in you look at his resume on Netflix, okay, and all of them have been so perfectly Adam Sandler.
Oh, well, that's
So this is what this is going to be.
Or whether you this love could or hate, be like an Uncut Gems thriller style science fiction adaptation. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Where the Sandman brings it all. Brings his A game.
Okay, well now you've got my hopes too high. now when he gets on there and goes, "Stop looking at me, meteorite," I'm going to be like really upset. I'm going to be like, "Oh damn it."
Okay, so forget I said.
Damn you, Dylan. Yeah, no, I expect cheesy, stupid comedy. In space. This is
an alien.
This is Jason X for Adam Sandler.
Oh, yes.
This is Jason X. Like, so I'm uber keen for this, honestly. I reckon if you pour a couple of drinks back, this will be the movie of the year.
Yeah, and you know what? I cannot wait. You know, I talked about Hubie Halloween, how I like the look of it.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't sat down and watched it just yet.
Yeah, no, watch it, dude. It's exactly what you expect.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not turned off by it because I like the Sandman. I like his movies.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's okay to admit that.
No, that's exactly right. Especially the old school ones. I mean, fair enough, we might have seen them too many times where they're just a bit repetitive in that. But the ones on Netflix...
But they are very Adam Sandler. They are very Happy Madison.
Exactly, 100%. And that's the key there. Happy Madison. Like, and I'm excited to see the old man swing the golf club, but do it in space. Because every time they change the theme as well, because last he was dressed as Dracula for Hubie Halloween. And was like, terrific. You know,
okay.
So they're going to change it. So they're going to do it for space. But so Adam Sandler's going to space. Look forward to that on Netflix, I assume, coming in the next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that's all the movie news out of the way. Sort of. Actually, I've got one more, which is a little bit sort of joined between Netflix TV series and video games.
Well, did you want to touch on that one first, just to blend them together?
That's what I'm doing, So we're skipping to more news regarding Resident Evil.
Oh, shock and awe.
Shock and awe. The last few weeks you've heard me go on about it, and this week I'll keep it brief, I promise. We do know that there's a new CGI...
take a drink and your Dylan promises something and then blabs for twice as long punch card.
Yep, take a drink. But yes, as we've discussed in a previous episode, that Netflix is producing a CGI Resident Evil film. Now, usually those films are standalone to the canon of the video games. And what I mean by that is the story, the continuity of the video games. They've announced that this is actually going to be in canon to the video games. Which is interesting to me because... To go down that rabbit hole, but keep it brief, you know, there's a new video game coming out which is sort of sidestepping. These characters aren't going to be in it. But it's weird that they're actually attempting this to begin with. So they may reference the events from the video games prior, which the last ones that they were in, which extended that continuity, weren't so great. They were kind of the dull end of the video game franchise. So for me, who's a fan of those things, and I like the progression. I don't like, as much as I like the remakes that I've talked about, I do like the idea of them still hanging on to the idea of, you know what, these characters still exist in this timeline. Let's tell that story.
Well, that's good. Are they going to still have as many umbrellas?
That's lots of them. Okay, it's going to be fun. Well, as I said, it's in continuity, so they've been at this for like 30 years.
So the warehouse is still stocked.
Oh, stocked, overstocked. Awesome. Get yours now. Clearance sale on umbrellas.
Nice. No, but that's good. So that's a positive for this show.
I think so. Yeah, you know, like, I mean, a lot of people may look at this and go, but for me, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. No, as long as it works for you, I've got no opinion.
That's what I'm saying. This video game news is all me, baby.
Essentially, especially Resident Evil, you're balls deep in that franchise, whereas I'm just Michelle Rodriguez was good.
Yeah, she's good in every. She's actually no. I'll rephrase that. She's kind of good in everything.
No, exactly. But
she's very one note. You know.
No, 100%. I just went to the first actor I could think of from the first one,
Mila Jovovich.
Oh well, right. Yeah. Apparently, she's good in it.
She's also very one note in everything she does.
Exactly. But so that's my knowledge of Resident. Wait a minute.
They're the same person. But yes, on to the next little bit of interesting video game news. Very briefly, we're going to be looking at Facebook.
Why?
So Facebook has recently obviously taken over the whole Mixer side of thing, which was supposed to be the big competition to Twitch with live streaming video games.
Yeah, it worked well.
They've been part of the video game development cycle for a little while now with their Oculus Rift development, which is... The production of that is headed by previous technical header of id Software, John Carmack, which is basically virtual reality video gaming.
Yeah, right.
They've partnered with Oculus to develop the technology for Oculus gaming. And now they're taking their new venture into streaming with Facebook gaming.
Of course.
But now they're trying to join the world of cloud gaming.
Okay.
Now, I did read a small article earlier that's not as a part of this particular segment, but they're saying that if you delete your Facebook account, you also delete all of the Oculus games that you own. So, which is a bit of a weird thing for me because I thought anyway, it's weird. It's a weird connection.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
But cloud gaming, to put that into perspective for you, which you probably already have an opinion on that, it's like Google Stadia. You own a particular service and you can play games that are streaming essentially from that service. Like if you own a Google Stadia account,
there's no physical discs and purchases and stuff.
It's just the built-in. That's right. So you can take it wherever as long as you log into your account on a particular device. You can play the games that you own through that account.
Yeah. Did you already mention Google Stadia?
Yes. Well, that's the perfect example because they tried essentially shit the bed, but in saying that, things may change.
I don't know. It never came here.
Well, that's right. Yeah. So Facebook is also taking their step into cloud gaming as well. So it's not a new service, but it's a cloud-powered games that are playable on Facebook. So if you log in... My understanding of this is if you log into Facebook on your smart TV and you have the Facebook gaming app or whatever there, you'll be able to hook up your Facebook controller or whatever device they release with that and play the games through that connection.
Yeah, well, according
as long as you don't have Australian internet.
Exactly. But according to this, unlike Amazon or Google, it's already available right now, built into the Facebook app. So there isn't a separate entity. It's already there.
It's already there.
So that's a pretty big... I don't know if it's a game changer, but it is in its step showing the future of they can just incorporate it into what they've already got.
Well, that's right. That's what I wanted to sort of incorporate into other articles that we have regarding video game and cloud streaming is because it says here, Vice President of Facebook, President of Play saying, we're not promising 4K 60 FPS and it's going to cost them $6.99 a month. I'm guessing that's for like the American prices.
That's so the same, like $32 for us.
That's right. Yeah. So that's right. So that's the same for Google Stadia, where you pay like a monthly premium to subscribe to that service, and then you then buy games to add to that.
Okay, so you do still have to buy the games added to it. It's not like there's a library of games that you have access to.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
But that also then links to the idea of the Ultimate Game Pass thing with Xbox and Sony's whatever they're calling
PlayStation Plus.
Cloud gaming. The idea and the concept is a bit baffling right now.
Yeah.
But I think just like movies and TV show streamings, I don't think it'll change the game straight away, but in 5 to 10 years it'll be the norm and we won't even notice the difference.
Yeah, no, exactly right. This is just a new way of technology just coming this direction in, and then all of a sudden it'll just be second-hand nature to it.
That's right, because we already have Xbox Game Pass, which is like Netflix for video games. It's not streamed, but you download the game if you have that subscription.
That's right.
It's heading to the point where you can still do that, but it'll also be streamed where you don't have to download the actual thing itself. It'll just be streamed from whatever server it sits on.
Yeah.
Which if you have a good enough internet connection, that's not going to be a problem. But it definitely moves away from that, and because there's going to be a digital and also physical version of the PlayStation 5.
Yes.
That's also moving towards cloud gaming, and the Xbox and Microsoft space is already doing that with their Game Pass.
Yeah.
This is just another avenue. So soon enough, gaming consoles essentially will move to the exact same platform as streaming TV and movie services right now. You've got Amazon, you've got Netflix, you've got Disney Plus, you have Hulu, you have fucking Foxtel Go, Shudder, for example. So soon enough, I'd say in the next 5 to 10 years, you will have Microsoft streaming services, then you have Sony streaming services, then you have Facebook, and then you have Google. And unless Amazon, you're like me that still collects physical things, which PC gaming doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
It depends on...
Crit.
I know, right? They just don't exist. It sucks.
No, exactly. Yeah, I get that. No.
The only ones I could get was Doom, which was great, so I got to add that to my collection.
Of course.
But in saying that, so after the next 5 or 10 years, I think that'll be the new norm. Depending on what service that you subscribe to will depend on what games you can play and where. It'll be on your phone. It'll be on, as long as you have a device that can control the game.
Yeah,
you can play them anywhere.
As long as I can still hold a controller for PlayStation, I don't care.
Well, that's right.
That's all it comes down to.
That'll be the thing. You'll have a controller and you can play it on wherever.
Buy EB games.
Yeah, and that, I mean, well, hopefully they'll stay alive.
I was going to say EB did the smart thing incorporating with Zing.
Yes.
Like, if they didn't do that, they'd already be struggling.
JB Hi-Fi here in Australia, everybody internationally probably has no idea what we're talking about.
JB Hi-Fi would be like a Best Buy, an electronics.
That's right. But I went to my local JB Hi-Fi today, and they're ramping up their...
the collectibles?
Their pop culture junk.
Yeah.
lunch
100%.
boxes, T-shirts, board games.
Go back to when JB Hi-Fi Glendale first opened.
Yeah.
They literally just had... They
VHSs.
barely had appliances, you know?
Yeah.
They definitely didn't have a kitchen appliances like they do now.
Yeah.
So they had, trying to expand in all realms.
That's right, but they're also taking on that sort of aspect of it as well, which is fine. But you know, obviously these things will live on and there'll be new devices that'll change the game. But
that's right.
I think the console brands will exist, but just the console devices themselves will then move on to subscription services, and then that's all you'll be paying for.
No, absolutely.
Because you won't need to buy like a Netflix device, you just have it on the app.
No, that's
It'll
right.
be an Xbox app and a PlayStation app and a Facebook gaming
and we
app.
know there already are PlayStation apps and Xbox apps and stuff, but that is all you need.
That's all you get.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, the next bit, speaking of Xbox,
so
you want to run me through this one as well?
Okay, well, this is basically what we just talked about, is that the Xbox streaming stick could come in the future. Now, this is basically like Chromecast.
Yes.
But same sort of deal.
Okay.
It's a matter of having all of your streaming services, including Xbox Cloud Gaming, on a stick.
Okay, all right. So on that stick will be the capability to play the games as well.
That's
right.
right.
What you're saying? Okay,
From
I
streaming.
was going to say, why would they need a stick for that? Like, as in, it's built into the Xbox.
Well,
that
if
you can access those apps.
If you don't have a smart TV that has all the apps preloaded, it's like there's an Amazon version as well, which I've been meaning to get. It's like an Apple TV.
I literally know nothing about Xbox, but do they not have like access to Netflix and stuff in the Xbox
they
menu?
absolutely do.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, yeah, no, I was like, what's the point of that? But the gaming capabilities, that's what you're getting.
It's to have that all in, like Microsoft.
So the new Xbox, like Z, it's a stick.
It's a stick.
Plug
it's a USB stick. That's the thing. Like Xbox has always tried to make their devices more of an every service console. Like PlayStation has always stuck to, well, we're just gaming, and Xbox is like, well,
no, they haven't.
Yeah, but like the last when they released the PS4. And Xbox One was coming out. Xbox One were like, look, we've got this Kinect, and we showcase that we can do, like, you can sit down and it'll access your Netflix and all that, and they really pushed it.
Yeah.
But the gaming community was like, well, we want a device that's just gaming, and PlayStation was like, here it is.
Yeah,
even though they do the same thing.
I was going to say,
but that's how
one
they
app
market
with everything in it. Yeah,
that's right. They do the same thing, but they market it as a gaming first.
yeah. No, of course.
But now Xbox is like, well, I mean, we've already done what everybody's asking for now, and they're pushing the narrative even further.
Again, like you mentioning with the cloud gaming, and that'll become the norm. That's because it's the norm now.
It is
to have everything included, and that's just how we expect things now. So
that's right.
You know, they don't need to push those kind of things and stuff like that.
That's right.
Like, you know, Sony got the Blu-ray player originally and all of that. So I like to think, me personally, but I'm nowhere in the gaming world at all. But I personally think that they've had a nice balance between the two. But I don't know how they've been pushing them. I just buy the shit.
Technological wise, they absolutely have. PlayStation beat them to the mark with Blu-ray. We know that.
Well, no, do you remember? That was actually a war, because they took the risk on Blu-ray, they took the risk on HD DVD. And HD DVD died in like 2 months.
Yep.
And I remember there was HD DVDs for like $1 at JB. They just wanted to get rid of them because it was a defunct thing.
Blu-ray was the next best thing.
No, exactly. That's right. And I remember I was like, I should buy all of these. And then I'm like, but then I got to buy a HD DVD player. And then I'm literally limited to these options forever.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to make them again.
But then I watched a YouTube video on this recently regarding that entire history.
Yeah.
Xbox then cut a deal with Netflix.
Yeah.
And then they had Netflix first. And that's how it was. But after a while, Netflix was like, you know what? We want more business. They stuck a deal with Sony.
Yeah.
And now it's all connected and they all do the same thing.
I was going to say, now every fucking device in the world has a built-in Netflix app, you know? So, yeah.
And before the show, we were tagged in a post from our co-host friend over at Just Add Movies from Darcy.
Oh, yes.
Talking about the PlayStation 5 and its integrated streaming service apps. And there was like, you know, everybody's going on, well, HBO Max is on there. Are we getting it in Australia? My argument is, no.
Exactly.
Because it'll be ready when it's available in Australia, but before then it won't exist on it.
No, exactly. Like how Shudder pushed out all the advertisements when they finally launched in Australia. Right. We're going to get flogged with HBO Max ads when they finally fucking launch it. Like Hulu as well.
But the app won't be preloaded onto the PlayStation 5s in Australia. It'll be made available for download when it's ready.
And even if it was, we still can't use it.
Well, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it'll be ready when it's ready.
Exactly. And those services will definitely fucking tell us about them before it gets added to a built-in thing.
That's right. And when they are ready in Australia, they'll blow up and we'll know about it.
Exactly. 100%.
But anyway, that's the future of cloud gaming with Facebook and Microsoft and Sony and all of that. It's they all do the same thing. The only thing that's still different is Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, right. I didn't even think of that.
That's because
Nintendo's Nintendo. I think the big boys of gaming just let them do their thing, and they're like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
thanks.
and we still crush it because our games are overpriced. But yeah, we'll do it.
No, but exactly. We're still well and truly profitable, and we have a history and loyal fans.
That's right.
Simple as that.
Anyway, I've got one here for you to talk about.
Thank you.
I've sprinkled a little bit of cheese on the pizza for Mitchell today.
You sprinkled a bit of child games on in the gaming news for me, which I honestly haven't logged into my Fortnite account in about a week.
Oh, heresy.
Anyway, yes. So Fortnite has Ghostbusters skins. Yeah, exactly. This is one of the many crossovers that they have done over the months. So yeah, I'm just there's
nothing to say about
that.
No,
okay. I mean, I love Ghostbusters, but I'm not going to buy it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. If I could link this back to Doom for a moment.
Here it is. Yep. Here it is. I thought he got it all out on the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen.
In the DLC, they've introduced a new enemy type, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is it's called the Spirit, and it possesses the demons initially, and it makes them twice as deadly.
Yeah.
But when you kill that demon, finally, the Spirit pops out and it tries to find a new one. But you've got to swap over your weapon modification and blast it with a laser to kill it.
Oh, really?
It's a Ghostbusters reference.
Straight out of Ghostbusters.
That's the only way you can kill it. So
That's pretty fucking dope. That's pretty fucking dope.
I just wish that they... Yeah. Fuck yeah. I just wish that they put in a...
Yeah, exactly.
But they didn't.
Yeah. Copyright issues probably, but that's pretty fucking dope though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Fortnite, if you're interested in that, is getting Ghostbusters skins.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. They probably will only stick around for a couple of days as they normally do with those special items in the item shop. So,
and once you've bought them, they're there forever, aren't they?
No, of course. Yeah. No, absolutely. So, no. Yeah, I'd rather spend it on original things because they keep selling out because this season is shit. Because the entire season is Marvel themed and it's gross.
Not a fan.
It's almost like they're advertising it for kids. Right?
Oh my god.
Right? I mean, who'd have thunk?
I know, right?
It's crazy.
Bring back John Wick.
Yeah, no, bring back fucking original designs and not the Battle Pass skins being based off fucking Groot and Iron Man and shit.
There was another news article I saw about that particular situation, and apparently they're just getting started.
No, apparently I've already heard that the next season's going to be DC. In which case I won't fucking play.
Yeah.
No, seriously. No, I just want original shit. Just do your original shit. It's been working for this long. Hey. Stop selling out.
Well, stop selling out.
Yeah.
That's Fortnite's entire business model.
No, stop selling out. They haven't started.
Anyway.
I think that's it.
Yeah, the last little bit of news.
Wait, right.
Yeah, we've got one more little bit of gaming news about Call of Duty Cold War.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I want to talk about this very briefly. And I wouldn't normally talk about it, but I tried the open beta when it was on.
Of course.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It'll have crossplay. Yep. And when the zombies come out, we'll be playing it.
Yes.
But the thing is, there's a particular exclusive zombie mode which will only be available to PS4 and PS5 owners for an entire year. The weird thing about it is that it's a 2-player co-op, horde mode, essentially.
Okay.
But everybody else will still have access already to, the regular zombies mode and the regular... it's just this very specific mode that they'll have access to. It's I'm not missing out on anything.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
It's just weird.
Yeah. What... I don't understand why that's, I don't think it's a big get for PlayStation.
I know, because I look at this from the perspective, okay, if I was a PlayStation owner, would this draw me to own it? No.
Well, I can tell you, no.
That's right.
Yeah. No, that's understandable, but I'm still keen to play zombies, huh?
Yeah. Zombies looks fucking amazing.
Exactly, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no zombies in the beta that you played, right?
No, it was just regular multiplayer maps with a few different sort of modes, essentially. And I surprised myself. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
I was going to say, it's been a while since you talked so highly about a Call of Duty game.
Well, I thought for many, many years that I was just dreadful at Call of Duty games. But it turns out I'm just shithouse at using a controller.
Okay.
On PC, I was killing it.
Yeah.
So, now I'm like, you know what? This is actually kind of good. So,
as one of our patrons gingerly says, PC the gold race.
Apparently... Nowadays, I don't know about PlayStation, but with Xbox, you can plug any old keyboard and mouse into it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So try it out if you haven't already.
Well, there you go.
If you want to get into that, you can basically still own an Xbox and still have that, but with controller, mouse, and keyboard. It may make things a little easier if you want to do that.
I'll stick to my kiddie games with 3 controls.
Some people prefer controllers. It's just down to your preference. For me, I go back to a controller now and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, no, exactly. But you played for so long that taking that leap to PC was already big enough, but then going back, now you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
But that's the thing. We grew up in the time where the PC gaming wasn't really a very convenient option.
not for us,
No.
but for many other people I've found out.
Yeah.
Apparently it was massive the entire time.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I just wasn't old enough to have a job to buy the stuff.
I was going to say, so us people working at Bilo, just couldn't afford the fucking keyboard or mouse.
Well, everybody that I know that's grown up with PC gaming was because their parents were into it and they had the... Like us, for example, like our kids will grow up with the technology because we want it and they'll use it.
Exactly.
Same sort of deal. So but kids of our generation grew up playing Doom and Quake and Wolfenstein and RuneScape and all that on their parents' gaming rigs, essentially, because they had it. But for me, my parents didn't have a fucking clue. So that was like, what's the latest and greatest? Nintendo 64? Here it is. And I loved it. And I still do.
Exactly. But, hey, look, technology, go, run, and just to get us out of their faces. And
that's
they're
right.
like, all you do is spend time with computers and stuff. Well, fucking sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, if I had my time back and I had the option, I would have started, because all of the PC games that I like now are things that I've liked for many years and I did prior to that. But yeah, Call of Duty Cold War comes out in November. I will definitely be getting it. I was going to write up a list of the latest releases, but I don't care about anything else. And there's nothing coming that's interesting within the next week. So on to what we've watched.
That's right. Dylan, at home with 2C3 Pod, what have you watched, my friend?
Nothing. What have you watched?
Nothing. And you've been off work and everything.
Well, I've been streaming a hell of a lot and doing other things. I did watch one thing.
Okay.
It's not really review worthy though, because
that's fine.
Austin Powers, the Man of Mystery, the International Man of Mystery. I watched it last night.
All right, fair enough.
Still fun.
That's a thing.
Super offensive in 2020, but I love it.
Of course. It's amazing going back and seeing some of those old things and just being like, you can't.
It's like, wow, this is super rapey and hasn't aged well, but I understand what it was going for at the time, and I still think it's funny, and I still enjoy the humor, and those movies, I enjoy them. So that's why I
have a Michael Myers tattoo.
Yeah, of course, a Shrek tattoo.
But anyway, I actually had a fairly big week at home.
Excellent.
Watching some stuff. I'll run with it. I'm going to start off with, before I get into the new release, I'll go back and talk about the older ones. Pathology from 2008.
Yep.
Have you seen Pathology?
I think so, but
it's
I may not have.
on Stan. It is fantastic. I still love it. I still absolutely love this film. Basically, a group of med students who are training to be pathologists have a game where they go out and they take turns killing somebody, and when it comes back to the morgue to them, the others have to guess how they died.
That's cool.
It's fun. I haven't seen it. It's really good, and it just kind of came under the radar. Hard fucking R18 Australia rating.
Solid,
because it's overrun with gore, but not like cut-em-up gore. There is some towards the end and stuff, but it is because it's set in a morgue. So you see them cutting bodies open and peeling skin back and all that shit. Yeah, very good. But it's a really fun movie, man. Really, really good movie. Like, it's on Stan. When I found it, I was like, done. Deal. So rewatch that.
Yeah,
classic. I've got the DVD if you wanted that instead.
Right, okay.
But anyway, I also watched one on Netflix from 2017.
Yep.
Keep Watching with Bella Thorne, and also a little bit of Lee Winnell in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just as an acting role, nothing to do with the story or anything.
Yep.
It was okay, but for a movie that had an MA 15 plus rating, almost no gore, like no blood. Like,
so was it more adult themes?
No.
Okay.
It was just, more.
Was there boobies?
No,
and all penises?
There was a slight continuous cleavage, but that's about it.
That's not really MA rating these days.
No, that's what I mean. Like, as in, I didn't understand why it was MA rating. There was nothing that was too confrontational at all.
Yeah, right.
But more or less, there's a group of people who lock down a home essentially and live stream from like hundreds of cameras in the house.
So it's Halloween H2O.
Essentially, but murder these families, and then there's a little twist at the end as to who those people murdering were, and it was like, okay.
So it was enjoyable? Yeah.
It was possible.
Yeah,
it was possible, but just for the ending, I was like, okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, cool.
And then the last one I watched was the brand new Borat subsequent movie film.
So I forgot this was coming out so soon. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't realize it was so soon.
Came out on Friday.
Yeah. So we have all seen Borat at this point. We all know that it's nice. My wife's vagina is wizard.
My sister, number 3 prostitute in North of Kansas. It's terrible.
We know this film, and we know how fucked it is. So, has doubling down on it made this any better, or is this necessary?
If you enjoyed Borat,
yep,
this is just as good, if not slightly better.
Slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, as in my personal opinion, I feel like, and I mentioned it in Trailer Park when we first reviewed the trailer, you can tell that there is more scripted scenes to have a story driven in there, where they had that in the first one, but it was still a lot more in your face because nobody knew who the fuck he was. He could go anywhere. They played perfectly into the storyline where he did go out in the streets and got chased by people saying, "Oh, autograph," you know, like, Borat, come on, like, you know, like, $5 for a very nice, you know, like, as in, you know, so they played into that well, and there was a few more scripted scenes with him and his daughter, you know, but they were still portraying their characters in that. And honestly, I think for the scenes that they got out of him dressed up as different characters, still being Borat, but dressed up as somebody else, I think they were just as good as the first one. And then I will say there was a cinematic twist at the end of the film.
Really?
And they and you need to watch it for the end and go, "Oh, you fucking geniuses."
Well, Ali G?
No, nothing. No. It's all set in this Borat universe.
Yeah, okay.
But the twist at the end and with current affairs and stuff.
Yeah,
that's fucking brilliant. Like, as in, I'm pretty sure they started filming this film before COVID, and then like had to completely fucking shift the gear of everything when that shit happened, because you see the transition in the film from where he's on the streets and there's people everywhere, and then there's nobody on the streets and people are wearing masks and But no, fantastic. It was fantastic. If you enjoyed Borat, you'll enjoy this.
My third eye view from this was going, okay, we know it. We all, I mean, not everybody, but most of us enjoy Borat. You know, for what it is. It's just rude, crude, real life kind of situation, essentially. I was wondering whether a film like this coming out now was more of an ugly cash grab and doubling down on the kind of humor that we've seen before, but we really didn't need right now. But as you said, it's enjoyable. There's a twist. It's more cinematic. So it doesn't take away from the original, and it doesn't leave you.
No, they played off all the strength of the first one very well, and then added some new elements. And
that's another one to add to the list, because I have been meaning to watch it. I just need to sit down to do so.
No, absolutely, man. And I mean, God bless 2020 and the access to streaming services that we have. Let a film like this just literally dropped a trailer, and then 2 weeks later, there it is. Yeah, like, you know. So very good. That's good. Cool. And also, they had a good message at the end as well. There's a twist, and then right before the credits, they just went bang on the screen, and you're like, well played. Excellent. Okay, so definitely be keeping an eye out for Borat subsequent to movie films. Yes. Anyway, no, it's fantastic. Do you have the longer title for that? Oh, I don't have it up here on the screen, but it was to give gift to Donald Trump to make power of once disgraced nation of Kazakhstan, or something like that. The plot of the movie is he's trying to take a gift, which is a monkey. To Mike Pence, or Michael Penis, Michael Penis, because he can't get to Donald Trump, so he's going to get to Michael Penis and give him a gift so that he can be a part of Donald Trump's Cool Countries Club. Wow. With China and Russia. Cool Country Club. No, they called it something else, like Powerful Men of Power or something. I thought they were going for like a KKK, CCC kind of joke. There's KKK references. There's him walking into a Jewish church. Oh man, he crosses all the Borat lines. Excellent. Cool. Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to that. But it is time. To wrap up the show, isn't it? No, it's not. What? Oh, Betty Sue, my cousin wife's trying to head on down to the trailer park. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Trailer Park, one of my favorite times of the week, where we review the freshest trailers that have come to the interwebs this week. And I write us a little clever description, and we're going to discuss whether or not we think this trailer has done enough to sucker us in, and whether this film has potential to be a good film. Yeah. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. So let's buckle up. Let's get on down with Betty Sue. Let's grab the hamburgers and the hot dogs and get hyped up. That's right. Now, another thing to say before we get this started, just like Trailer Park, just like YASSS or Pass, while we're talking about these films, make sure you pause the podcast, watch the trailers, come back, and then listen to our discussion. Absolutely, that's right. So you can watch along with us. Yep. Listen along with us. Forgot what we were doing there for a second. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Our first trailer off the park this week is Mank. Our first trailer off the park. Yes, exactly. Our first trailer off the park this week is legendary director David Fincher's first film in 6 years, and what a fascinating return to film it is. Mank, written by Fincher's father Jack, making his screenwriting debut 17 years after his passing, tells the story of Herman Mankiewicz and how he ended up writing the cinematic classic Citizen Kane. Or did he? We find Gary Oldman playing the titular character who seems to live an eventful life full of booze, affairs, booze, colourful characters, and booze. With Amanda Seyfried in tow. That fucking frog has a shut up!
Don't blame the frog.
I'm blaming the frog.
He's trying to find some sex out there. I'm going to yell at him.
With Amanda Seyfried in tow, this story and filming style looks about as old school classic Hollywood as we could ever expect to see these days. Notably filmed in black and white, there is actually no colour footage of this film at all. None. That's something we don't ever see nowadays. A crazy cast, a whimsical story, and an incredible director. Mank looks like it has buckets of potential. Coming to Netflix December this year.
This film, called Mank, is telling a story that I've never heard of, but I'm absolutely fascinated about right now.
Yes, indeed.
So I really like those movies that tell the story of cinematic experiences from the early ages of cinema in Hollywood, especially around, Citizen Kane, a film which has gone down in history as one of the best films of all time, essentially.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm still yet to check out from 1941, as we've discussed in the podcast recently. Don't discount your old films, even though it might say 1941. Still check it out if you're mildly interested.
As we've discovered in some of our watched at home films.
That's right. Yeah. So Gary Oldman is a fantastic actor. We've also got an absolutely stacked cast as well. But I really like the idea that this is David Fincher written and directed a film basically wrote by his father, who wrote it 1 billion years ago, based on a story which happened 1 billion years ago. And the whole thing is filmed. It looks like it's filmed directly in black and white, it's got that grainy kind of filter. So, and not only that too, but the fonts and the images of like the film title and the credits show up as if this film was produced in the 30s.
It looks like a 40s film.
Yeah, I really, really like every aspect of this. But not only that, coming to Netflix.
Absolutely, exactly. Easy and convenient for us. But yes, just touching on what you mentioned there, the fact that his father wrote it years and years and years ago, and his father died in 2003, and this is his first ever credit of any kind.
Yep.
So
it's fantastic.
There's going to be some passion behind
Lucky he has a son who's a successful filmmaker.
Exactly. Otherwise, this would have just got, just chuck it away, the old man died, but no, it's fantastic. It's going to have some passion and some heart behind it as well. And yes, it's right here. Shot on red monochrome 8K cameras, no color version of the film exists.
Which is weird, 8K cameras, which is definitely
HD.
Super HD.
Exactly. So we're going to get quality.
It's not like there was another film that springs to mind. I just can't think of it right now. It's not The Lighthouse, because that film is crazy good in its aspect ratio. But there was another film that we looked at, whether it's new or old, a little while ago, which is in black and white, but it looks like it was filmed on an HD camera and they just removed the saturation, and you can tell. But this film looks like it's been filmed without a color palette even programmed in, and fair enough, it may have been taken away in post production, but it looks good.
No.
That's what
it definitely hasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks like it has.
No, that's right, and you can absolutely tell though, like how we're gonna get a quality HD fucking production. But it's all going to look like old school grainy black and white. And that's just, I'm in big summer blowout.
Yes, for sure. There is a moment in the trailer, and this is one aspect of black and white filming that I've always admired, is the use of lighting. I mean, obviously the use of lighting is important in any film. I mean, look around. But in saying that, there's a moment behind Gary Oldman where he says something and the light dims and his background goes completely black and the light on his face stays there.
Yeah.
And like, I don't remember exactly what was said or what happened in the trailer, but I just remember the lighting changed. Did you know, in old black and white films and TV shows, if there was a shadow in the background that wasn't supposed to be there, they would paint it grey.
That's so crazy.
Just to get rid of it. Because obviously in a colour film, you'll see a big grey smudge.
Yeah, exactly.
So they really had to pay attention to, okay, what's this going to look like? But in an old film like that, where it's like, okay, that shadow is annoying me.
Yeah.
Just paint it over. It's gone.
Yeah.
So the use of... Like, it looks like David Fincher, obviously being an experienced filmmaker as it is. Yeah. Music by Trent Reznor.
Oh, 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, which is crazy cool.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of, composing for different sort of mediums.
Oh, he's a artsy dude.
Yeah, so the filmmaking of this looks fantastic, and it looks like David Fincher is taking all the advantages of filming a black and white film genuinely serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the story is interesting. The music is going to be great from a great composer. I am down as fuck for this film.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. Lots of fucks in that.
Exactly, and not only that, he is the director of my favourite film of all time.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah.
Fight Club.
Of course,
you should fucking know after 129 of these motherfuckers.
Yes,
and of course of 7 as well.
Yep.
But, alright, moving on to our second trailer this week, we have Raya and the Last...
No, Raya.
Raya?
Raya.
Yeah,
she even says it.
Yeah, I know. I remember hearing that and going, I'm going to forget that.
It annoys me slightly. Yeah.
Wait, annoys me?
No, it annoys me that, like, how she says it. I was like, that's not how I'm reading it.
No, exactly. It says Raya, but yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon. Do you smell that? Just off in the distance. Do you smell that? That is the smell of merchandising dollars, and Disney is cooking up a bunch of them with their new sure-to-be hit, Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yum, yum, yum.
The first trailer offering doesn't give much away, but what we can gather, Raya was born to defend the Dragon Gem, and living in a world divided, her last hope of uniting her people is to find the Last Dragon. Dun dun dun. Along with her trusty and ever so marketable sidekick, Tuk Tuk, we see her bring sticks to a sword fight, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Smashing into only cinemas, 25th of March 2021.
Tomb Raider. This is animated Tomb Raider.
Don't tell Disney.
If you like that concept, check out this trailer. Listen, obviously the animation is fucking beautiful. If I look at this from a technical perspective, which I look at all of Disney films, it's magnificent how beautiful this film looks.
Oh, yeah.
The story, I couldn't care less. The voice acting, yeah, cool. You know, I appreciate good voice acting, but the animation looks fantastic. And I also like the idea that it is only coming to cinemas. What? However, it will. I mean, yeah, that's subject to change.
Exactly.
It'll come to Disney Plus eventually. And in saying that, Disney has left a. I know this wasn't their intention, but they've left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm just not interested in seeing any Disney properties anymore because of this. Because of them going, okay, we've got these magnificent properties, and they're probably all going to be good.
Oh, of course they are.
The next one I'm looking forward to is The Mandalorian. The only reason I'm going to watch that is because I watched the first season, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So I'll be going back for that. But in terms of actual Disney animations, like outside of it, maybe Toy Story, I'm done with them.
And
Moana was fine, but this is...
the reason you mentioned Toy Story is because that's Pixar. Like Disney Pixar.
Well, that's right.
They make quality films. That's why we wanted to see Soul. And we've lost that opportunity.
Yep,
and
that's right.
Yeah, so Raya and the Last Dragon.
Raya and the Lost Dragon.
Yeah, no, I didn't think of Tomb Raider, but I was just like, oh, Disney's doing How to Train Your Dragon.
Well, yeah.
You know, they've got to have a dragon story now. I mean, they're so popular.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sure this is going to be, as we said, like a fine film. It's going to tell a unique story, and it's going to have a heartwarming message at the end of it about family and love and whatever else and acceptance.
Of course there is. And that's fine. Disney do Disney. Simple as that. I'm still going to have to go and see this movie whether I like it or not.
That's what I was going to say, is because this is not made for me who doesn't have kids.
No, exactly. But that's why I had to mention marketability as well, you know, because they're going to, as soon as I fucking saw that little tuk-tuk rolling under those nets at the beginning of the trailer, I was like, oh man, I even want one of those toys that looks cute as fuck.
I want to be
and then you find out at the end that Tuk Tuk becomes this huge fucking like a beast of a thing, and you're like, oh,
gigantic armadillo, tuck and roll fucking...
It's a Slater, man.
Slater.
Those little Slater bugs.
Tuck and rolls, I call them, from
really?
Bug's Life.
Oh, nice.
I never knew the actual name of them until like maybe 3 years ago. I just called them Tuck and Rolls.
Yeah, no. Is their actual name Slaters? Because that's just what I've been calling my whole life. And my kids have been saying Slaters and that.
That's because
then Willow will see a Slater and go, oh, that's so cute, and poke it and roll up, and she'll go, and then stand on it. I'm like, you're a bitch.
Yeah, that's mean. Yeah.
But... Kids, right? Anyway, big summer blowout based on the merchandising dollars and the money that it'll make. So that's for sure. All right.
If you're interested in the plot about this, turn off the podcast right now and come back in about a minute. But looking at the Wikipedia page of Raya and the Last Dragon, Kelly Marie Tran is the voice actor of Raya.
Okay.
And then Awkwafina, she was in...
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm 95%
She's good. She's great. I just can't think of what she was in.
Yeah, she's got like a hoarse voice. Like,
Jumanji.
Yes, exactly. Jumanji. Yeah, but do you understand what I mean about her voice though?
It's like, very kind of like...
exactly. She's obviously an Asian American, but you don't look at her and she's not like they're going, you know, typical...
She's not Ali Wong.
Yeah, exactly. No,
but Awkwafina as Sisu, a water dragon who can transform into a human and is the last dragon in existence.
Oh,
that's the description of her character on Wikipedia, and that spoils it.
I was about to say, so it's going to be a fucking person the whole time, like with her, essentially. I assume, or near her. Like it's probably fucking her.
Anyway, Dash and Anyway, Dash and Lily.
Yes, third trailer off the park this week is Dash and Lily. Just in time for the ho ho holidays, we have a Netflix original series about romance and old school letter writing, the likes of which kiddies have never seen today. Midori Francis and Austin Abrams team up in this romantic series about a young woman, Lilly, who puts a notebook in a bookshelf, looking for someone to play with. When cynical Dash picks up the book, he quickly rains on her parade and she loses hope. But after some back and forth about life and shit, they end up having fun and experiencing new things and blah, blah, blah. They meet and yay, Merry Christmas. Now I love Christmas, but this looks Coming to Netflix November 10th.
If there's one thing that this trailer really hooked me on, I don't remember the story or the plot of the series or whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
But it got me excited for Christmas.
Okay, all right. I was going to say, I'm like, when I watched this trailer and while writing my description, I'm like, this is just a blow-by because Dylan's not going to fucking want anything to do with this. No. And then when he said, what hooked me? I'm like, what? Yeah.
This is just like Love Actually or something like that. It's a romantic comedy-esque story about young people falling in love, whatever, but it's riddled with Christmas themes and carols and all that sort of stuff. It's a romance surrounding Christmas, and for some reason... I love those movies.
Yeah.
So I won't be watching this, but I like the concept and watching the trailer where it was like jingle bells, and I was like, oh yeah, Christmas.
Exactly.
Christmas is fantastic. As much as I hate Christmas, I love Christmas. So
yes, exactly.
If there's one thing that this trailer can do for me, it's get me excited for what's happening in the real world. But Dash and Lily, I don't care. Move on.
No, exactly. That's right. Little Red Notebook. She puts it on a shelf. He picks it up and he's like, fuck Christmas. And she's like, bitch. And then they fall in love.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then they ruin that at the end of the series. They're going to meet.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the trailer. Yep. So, Big Summer Blunder, I don't care. But yes, Christmas. If you're looking forward to Christmas,
it's coming up.
Stay tuned. We'll stay tuned for our last trailer this week. It's going to get you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Second to last trailer this week, News of the World. Multi-time Oscar winner Timothy Hanks leads the way in this 20th century Fox film set around the Civil War period. Here we find Hanks playing a grizzled war veteran who travels from town to town as a non-fiction storyteller, sharing the news of presidents and queens, glorious feuds, devastating catastrophes, and gripping adventures from the far reaches of the globe. On one of his many journeys, he stumbles upon a young girl who was being held captive by local Indians after they killed her entire family. Now she believes she is a Native American, and Hanks decides to take her to some long-lost relatives. Along the way, they face death, weather, and so many gunfights you'd think you were in a cafe in Sydney. This one sure screams award season, and deservedly so. Coming to Apple Plus, cinemas at the turn of the new year.
You know, my brother was at that coffee shop or bank, whatever it was, the morning of.
Oh, so he just missed out.
He just missed it.
Oh, lucky.
Crazy.
Fuck. Yeah.
Anyway, News of the World is a hard one to Google. Because of the title.
They may as well have called it Google.
They just bring it brings when you
Did you write News of the World film?
I did, and then it came up with everything else. And then I went trailer film, and then I went wiki, and then it was still nothing. So I went IMDb.
Timothy Hanks?
There it is, Timothy Hanks. Yeah.
IMDb, baby.
Yeah, I was trying to find
for 129 episodes.
Well, the thing I like about wiki is that it just gives you a little bit more outside of what IMDb gives. With
because anyone could chuck anything on there.
Yeah, I know, but like I read the things that it's like, okay, that's interesting. Whether it's true or not, I don't care. This is a podcast. We're not an encyclopedia.
Oh,
anyway, News of the World is fascinating. It's an interesting looking movie.
It is.
As we said, Civil War veteran, essentially takes this young girl under his wing to try and find her family. Yes. It's a story of a man who's grizzled and experienced in the world, with somebody.
He's sour at the world.
Who's has his life turned around and his views and opinions changed when he has to look after a child, which he's never done before.
Although I will just, yes, he does seem sour at the world, but he was nice enough to save this girl. So he did have that positivity and he wanted to help her, but at the same time, you can tell he's just like, fucking, all right. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's right. But in saying that, we've seen stories like this before. But I just
Milo and Otis.
I love that movie.
I know, right? That's just two people journeying.
That's right. This. Speaking of Milo, I bought Milo the other day, but it's like this extra Milo. It's like a protein version.
Wait,
or whatever. There's regular Milo, then there's Milo Extra, and it's crunchier and it's got more protein, whatever. It's not good.
Oh, okay. I was going to say the crunchier.
Yeah.
Milo is the perfect way it is. It's simple.
And I can vouch for that in saying more crunchy, no good.
No, it's no good. Exactly. I don't want chunks, but I will say Milo cereal.
Not bad.
Bingo bango. I've got some for the kids. The duo. Fucking love it.
Yeah. But Milo itself, just stick to the original.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need to change perfection.
It's like Vegemite and cheese, like the cheesy mite or whatever. Just stick to what was good.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, News of the World being a film with Tom Hanks and introducing a young actress, Elizabeth Marvel. I believe she's the new actress, the young girl in this who doesn't speak English. Yeah. And they're trying to work out that relationship as they go on this journey. They obviously land into a few conflicts and there's a few gunfights and things like that, which I'm interested in.
She's very unresponsive.
Yep.
Because I assume she's because she's been held captive by the Native Americans. She probably thinks the white man is the devil.
That's right.
So she's not having a good time. And then she finally goes, horse!
Captain!
Captain! Yes! Captain, motherfucker. All right, calm down with your ego there, Tommy.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, interesting looking film. Whether I ever actually see it, I don't know. But if it ever passes my way and there's nothing else on it and whatever else, I am genuinely interested in News of the World.
It is coming to cinemas.
Yes, but it just depends on whether there's a better option.
Well, around Boxing Day, my friend. That's when it's due.
Yeah, we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it does say out this Christmas, doesn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, that's right. All right, final trailer this week.
I am so
default double wide, but not really default. It earned its place.
Oh, absolutely.
Now we've poked fun at a particular person in this film for several weeks. He's now become a recurring theme of our YouTube reviews. There's a little subtle hint in there, so he's almost become a poster boy for us, and it looks like he is returning to best form.
Yes, absolutely.
Our final trailer this week is Fatman. Now,
before you get started,
okay.
I just want to say, don't look at the poster. Just watch the trailer.
Oh yeah, no. The poster looks exactly like what he's been doing, and then you watch it and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. And if you're listening to the podcast and you're like interested, pause it and watch the trailer and come back to us.
If there's ever been a trailer to do that, this is it.
Exactly. All right, Fatman. Now, this cannot be real. Seriously, is this real? You better fucking believe that this is real, as we end Trailer Park off with a fucking bang. Fatman is the Christmas movie we have all been waiting for. 2C3 Pod's sentimental favourite, Mel Gibson turns it in as a very rundown, rugged Santa named Chris. He's not named Santa or Kringle in the movie, who is getting exhausted and tired of being perceived as the positive, jolly old man. One Christmas, he sends a snooty, rich dick of a kid a lump of coal. So the dick rich kid wants his revenge and orders a fucking hitman to kill Santa. And who is the hitman, you ask? None other than the huge-teethed one, Walton fucking Goggins. This leads to Gibson being hunted by Goggins in a battle to the death. Again, this cannot be real. Oh, but it is, and it is crashing into Australian cinemas November 17th.
This is fucking Rambo taken Expendables level shit, but surrounding Mel Gibson as Santa Claus.
Yes.
And the first maybe 30 seconds of the trailer, the government is enlisting the skills of this man for a particular business.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Mel Gibson is playing like an older grizzled character, like a former spy. He's being hired. And then it goes to 30 seconds into the trailer, it shows the idea of the kid getting the lump of coal.
Yeah.
And then they really reel into the idea that this man is Santa Claus, and he's pissed.
Yeah.
He's old, he's grumpy, he's been shot, he owns guns, he works with the government.
Yep.
The government is fully aware of this man's presence.
Yeah, they don't. And he's in Alaska.
Yeah, that's right. And Walton Goggins, being the hitman, is coming for the fat man. And Mel Gibson's like, I'm sick of being jolly and bringing joy to these cunts, essentially. Yeah. Oh, man. This wasn't in Trailer Park, and I sent you it popped up when I was looking at the trailers.
I saw it and went, what?
I sent it to you, and then I watched it. Because I didn't watch it first. I was like, okay, interesting, Mel Gibson. I sent it to you, and then you said, I'll put it in the trailer. Then I watched it. I was like, holy fuck.
You struck gold, my friend.
Double wide, big time.
Yes.
It's also starring Maureen Jean Baptiste, David Gordon Green, and Danny McBride serve as executive producers on this this So,
Danny McBride dealing out the horror classic.
This isn't just going to be a crazy Nick Cage-esque second-rate film. This is a straight-up Hollywood bombastic, crazy-ass fucking action film with a stupid premise, and I'm down as fuck. The poster, Fatman, 'tis the season to be even.
Oh, I mean, yeah, everything about this screams fucking gold, but just also the simple fact that they took the cliche Santa story and just flipped it on its dime. This is just an old dude living in Alaska, Chris. And not only that, there's no Mrs. Claus.
Nope.
He has an interracial wife, which is just like unheard of with Christmas because you just expect bright and colorful and, you know, like that kind of thing. And they're just living in essentially a shack. He's literally got his sled under a tarp in the shed.
He actually has reindeer. And
he actually has reindeer in that, like, and they're called Donner and Blitzen and all of that jazz as well.
And apparently Blitzen bites.
Yeah, and just the idea that in 2020 that a rich kid could literally hire a hitman, and the hitman's like, oh, it's that dude? Yeah, cool. I'm coming for the fat man. I'm going to kill Santa. And it's just like part of his day. I'm all about this, man. I'm all about this. And the fact that if it was not for COVID, this would not be in cinemas.
No, for sure.
And it is coming in 3 fucking weeks, my
and
dude.
I am down as fuck for this.
Spoiler alert for YASSS will pass in 3 weeks.
It's a hard YASSS.
It's Fat Man.
No, it's excited, sorry.
Yeah, it's a hard excited for Fat Man, 100%. Yeah, I didn't think after Force of Nature I'd want to see Mel Gibson on the big screen, but...
Oh, no. Yeah.
Exactly. And Walton Goggins, I love Walton Goggins.
Yeah, everybody
Him and
loves
his
Walton
big
Goggins.
teeth, I love
If you're unfamiliar with who that is, Google Walton Goggins and you'll instantly know who he is.
Exactly, that's right.
He's a man who's aged and then he didn't.
No, yeah.
Like he kind of went backwards? Yeah.
Nah, that's that kid blood that they're all drinking in
That's
Hollywood.
right, of course. Anyway, to recap on Trailer Park this week, starting out with the black and white screenwriting debut of David Fincher's old man, Mank. Yes. Then we've got Raya and the Last Dragon, the uber profitable Disney property coming out fairly soon.
Of course.
Dash and Lily, the latest Christmas love story about teens getting together and whatever else. News of the world, Tom Hanks and some young bitch getting together and traveling across America. And then Fat Man.
Yes.
Mel Gibson as Santa Claus, and he's just sick of this shit. So
absolutely.
Been a cracking Trailer Park this week. Double wide is obviously Fat Man.
Of course
we are now moving on to the most depressing time of the week.
Oh, you know.
Also the most exciting.
Yep.
It's time for YASSS or Pass, excited or blinded.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for YASSS or Pass, excited or blinded. Now, this is the segment where we preview the films coming to theaters each week, and we pick one that we do go and see in cinema, and then we have a review for it over on our YouTube page over at 2C3Pod, of course.
Of course.
You hear that?
He's getting very excited. Now,
fireworks going off,
when we go for YASSS or Pass, usually in this segment, me, Dylan, who you're listening to right now,
of course.
I don't watch these trailers if I haven't already. I just go off what you tell me.
Of course.
So if something sounds interesting, that'll most likely be it. But
Exactly.
I think I've already made my mind up from earlier in tonight's podcasting session.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, okay, right. Are you talking about a previous film that...
Sauvage, yes.
Ah,
anyway,
okay.
tell me about what we've got here and you may persuade me.
Exactly. I was going to say, all right, we have 4 options this week. Now, I know the first one. I have to say it because
Default
it's
no.
there. Exactly, but it is a default no, unfortunately.
Hey,
and it's disappointing.
I'm sure it's fine.
And
I'm sure it's good.
And it's disappointing because of the cast list. You've got Sam motherfucking Neill.
Well, maybe we should see it.
And Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
In Rams. The story of 2 brothers who fight about their sheep. And they're living on their things, and they haven't spoken in 20 fucking years until somebody starts stealing sheep, and they're like, oh, we got to get them.
Sheep farms.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, so Rams. Yeah, coming to cinemas now.
Pass.
Yeah, it's a pass, unfortunately.
It's not a blinded because I'm sure it'll be good.
It's
Sam
not,
Neill and Michael Keaton, Australian Michael Keaton, are both fantastic.
Exactly. It's not because it's them. It's because of it. It's because it's about sheep, and it's Australian, and there's no blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
if you want to watch an Australian/New Zealand movie about
I know
sheep,
exactly what you're going for.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep. Black Sheep is fantastic, man. If you want to see a sheep with bloodlust in his eyes and going, and like jumping at
horrible
exactly.
mutations.
Oh, Black Sheep's great. What is this fucking recommendation to YASSS? So it's a pass for Rams, but that's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
Anyway, our next one. I might be able to twist you with this one, but I think there's 2 this week that potentially could get you. Okay.
Now, this is your Blumhouse production, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that's why I think I can get you. So we have, after I think about 22 years or so, 24 years, we have a sequel for some reason, of course, to The Craft, now from 1996, but this is The Craft Legacy, of course, a Blumhouse production, but basically I saw the trailer to this in the theaters over the weekend as well. New girl moves into town, and yeah, I know, I've never heard that before, but it happens.
That's so unique.
It happens, and she gets picked on and that by the jocks and stuff. And
No
then
way.
These 3, I know, it's weird. And then like these 3 girls come and like, you know, say, hey, be friends with us. And it's like, okay, cool. They're happy. And then all of a sudden, they're witches. And she becomes a witch. and it's about these 4 girls being witches.
Oh, witches.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the witches,
I love how every movie we always have a rabbit hole that we just...
The Witches remake or reboot, whatever, starring Anne Hathaway that we talked about last week.
Yes.
We're not getting it in Australia on streaming services. It's coming to cinemas like next month or something. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I thought it was going to...
Last I googled, anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
America already has it.
Yes.
Apparently, it's really good.
Oh, okay. So I don't want to see it.
Yeah. I'm kind of tempted now.
Okay.
I've seen some of the screenshots of the transformation into the witches, and I'm like, yeah, that actually looks like you would have to put your kids to bed. So,
okay, right.
I'm down. Anyway, The Craft Legacy.
Yeah, I'm going to just say YASSS because it's a Blumhouse horror-ish production. Okay? I'm just gonna level playing field.
Yeah.
If there wasn't other options, I'd be like, okay, I'll go and see it. Why not?
David Duchovny's in this.
Yeah,
I bet he's trying to have sex with all of them.
Oh, at least. At least 3 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But
well,
anyway.
I mean, the last Blumhouse production that... wouldn't have been the last one, but one of the earlier ones from this year was Fantasy Island.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say, as in, remember Invisible Man?
Yeah, but then... Yeah.
Universal, I know. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Have we previously discussed YASSS Pass? Is there a
Well, listen, this will be a pass because I'm not really interested. But if I have to, I will.
No, that's fair.
So this is a pass.
No, that's fine. That's fine. All good. I completely understand why.
Yeah.
Now we have one coming here, which I'm interested in.
There's still nothing wrong with a double review. That's for sure.
No. Yeah. Of course. But the next one is Empty Man. You just saw the page, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, okay.
Empty Man. Yeah. Okay, so basically, on the trail of a missing girl, an ex-cop comes across a secretive group attempting to summon a terrifying supernatural entity.
Oh boy!
So we have a space eels. We have a ghosty horror type horror thriller. I'd more lean towards.
Yep.
David Pryor, written by and directed, and yeah. What are we thinking?
This will be it for me. This is my part. Wow. This is my YASSS.
This is the YASSS.
Now, the only reason I'm giving this YASSS is because the poster looks awesome.
Yes.
The craft, as we said, yes, Blumhouse is great, but,
4 chicks laying around a fucking pentagon or something.
And listen, young bitches thinking they're witches, that's like so relatable.
No. I saw it in the trailer.
Oh, but come on, man.
Yes.
Anyway... I'm sick of that shit. You can have all the fancy candles you want, but come on. Anyway, The Empty Man, it's given me indie horror vibes of people who want to make a film that I've never heard of before.
Exactly.
And it's also based on a graphic novel, which I haven't heard of.
Yep.
But I am down. It's like The Vigil.
Yep.
Like The Vigil that we reviewed. Go back in the archives, YouTube. It's all links below.
Yes.
The Vigil was like what would you call it? A low-level horror film which kind of came out and it was amazing.
Yes. No,
so
exactly.
The Empty Man, just going off the poster, this is my choice. This is my YASSS this week.
This is your YASSS this week?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a YASSS for me as well.
Okay.
I definitely am keen for this, 100%.
Yep.
We do have one more to touch on, of course, and we did review this for Trailer Park months ago, and we didn't think we would get it.
Okay.
We didn't think we would get it, but then...
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden,
I remember this name.
Exactly. All of a sudden we have, and it's because of the scheduling conflicts across the world. But never, rarely, sometimes, always. Okay, so if we're looking for more of a film, a more of a drama film...
Wikipedia, not to be confused with sometimes, always, never.
Exactly. But if you remember from Trailer Park, essentially this one tells the story of 2 teenage girls, one of which needs to travel across several states to go and get an abortion. A schmorshman, absolutely. And she takes her friend along with her to help because it's a daunting trip.
Not necessarily. She takes her acquaintance who she was friends with. Remember, there was that dynamic where she called upon that person.
That's right, exactly.
With.
Yeah, that's right, because she was the pretty popular one, and then you had the not so popular friend, and she's like, "Come and help me." And she's like, "Oh, now you want to fucking talk?" And she's like, "I'm pregnant." And she's like, "Come and help me get rid of it.
Let's go on a road trip. Kick this baby out." Yeah, so
that's right. Yeah, it's a bonding journey.
Yeah, but there's obviously that the conflict that they have where one of them separates and all this shit. It does genuinely look good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this movie will be fantastic. But The Empty Man looks fantastic. Yes. So I think this is certainly one I would want to check out when it comes to streaming services or rentals, whatever.
Yeah.
I genuinely think this is going to be a good time. And if you're not really into a film about 2 blokes and their sheep, and then 2 horror films, you want something a little more drama, based, definitely check out Never Really, Sometimes Always.
I thought you were going to say, like, continue on with the theme and cover all of them. 2 blokes and their sheep. You got 2 chicks and their schmishmorshman. Then you got, like, 4 chicks and their witchy craziness. Then you got a dude looking for a girl.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's go with the dude looking for the girl.
Dude looking
Empty
for the
Man?
girl. Yeah,
Empty Man. All right, awesome. Yeah. Expect that review up in the next week on YouTube, 2C3 Pod, okay?
Yep, very good. But
simple as that.
Never Really, Sometimes Always definitely looks good. So I would give it a YASS, but it'll be a YASS. Yes, I'll check it out later.
Yes, no, absolutely. But that's the thing. We've got our choices here, but there's for me, there's 3 YASSes. There's no exciteds. There's nothing that's pumping you up.
But still, 3 YASSes is a good week.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
It's not like we're looking at this and go. It's not like we're looking at this and go. We've got no option.
No, that's right. We've got to remember as well. Rams wasn't a blighted. It was just.
We would probably still see it if there was nothing else.
Exactly. If it was Rams and the Kraft Legacy, we'd probably pick Rams.
Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
Like the Kraft Legacy, like despite its history and people may like the franchise, I'm not.
Oh, the first Kraft is great.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but at the same time, a sequel 24 years later. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather see Sam Neill and Michael Keaton.
Yeah, exactly. That's
shaving ship cheap. Anyway, are you thirsty?
Oh, I think I am, my friend.
Time for a sip.
That's right. If you're thirsty for a recommendation, may I suggest taking a drink from this stream? Service.
There's no rhyme to that at all.
I know, but it's so fun. Anyway, this is my top peak. That's the peak of the episode, my friend.
Tonight.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I had my sip. Let's go.
That's right. This is my top picks from each of the streaming services, which I enjoy. Okay, so Netflix. They've got Halloween now. Ooh. They're talking about the one
Halloween or Halloween recent.
Now Halloween recent, the restart of the franchise, or the direct sequel to the first one, if you want to treat it like that.
Yeah,
exactly. So if you haven't seen it, it's there now on the most popular service. So get on it. Cool. Stan, I'm chucking in one that I've already watched this week, but Pathology.
Yep.
Get on it, ladies and gentlemen. 2008, fantastic fucking movie.
Excellent.
Really good, great young cast, and Amazon Prime. Borat's subsequent movie film, okay?
Yep.
Yes, I already mentioned that I've watched it, but that's because it's fucking great. It's available on the service. If you've got Amazon Prime and you haven't watched it yet, you're a fucking idiot.
Get Amazon Prime. Heard it first.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah.
Shudder. Now, I'd already touched on High Tension, my favorite horror foreign film from France. Now we're going Spanish with your favorite foreign horror film, which is there buried in Shudder, Wreck.
Which is honestly, my favorite horror film. There's a lot to choose from, but if I have to pick most unique, Wreck.
Yes.
Don't watch The American Quarantine. Watch Wreck. I think we even mentioned this last week at some point. I think probably every episode since episode 1.
Subconsciously, we have to mention it once a month.
Yeah. Watch Wreck.
Yes, exactly. Available now on Shudder, okay? So make sure to check that one out. It's fantastic. Yep. And Disney Plus, go fuck yourself.
Of course.
Anyway, I sort of I don't
want to. Certainly find those on those streaming services if you have them. But for now, that has been our show. Thank you everybody who's tuned into this podcast, and those who are watching live right now. You can certainly find us live on twitch.tv/Dylan2C3pod. More information about that in a moment. But you can certainly find us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search 2C3pod.
Absolutely, that's right. And wherever you're listening to us, thank you for your continued support. We appreciate it so much. Make sure it's your preferred platform, and in particular, Apple Podcasts. If you can give us a 5-star review on there, write whatever you want. It refreshes weekly. Give us a new one each week if you're feeling so kind, and if you've already done it, you're a fucking legend. Thank you so much. But we do have a cliche slogan. Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course YouTube, Big Summer Blyer.
Now, if you want to support the show as well, you can find yourself a little bit of 2C3pod merchandise over at TeePublic and Redbubble.com. There's fridge magnets, there's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's all kinds of goodies on there. If you need to get yourself some, baby clothes, you can even get some baby clothes if you really want to.
That's right, exactly. You allowed that thing, yes.
I did, yes, of course. You can certainly head over as well to Patreon, which is certainly the big hitter for us. If you want to get some exclusive member benefits, such as early episodes, automatic entries into giveaways, a sticker if you really want, and a bunch of extra episodes as well, if I've already mentioned it.
So much
and
bonus
extra
content.
episodes. But also a little shout out just to show our appreciation for those. Mitchell, who are those bloody legends, heroes?
Most importantly, they get a shout out, and just to be clear, there are some made up names here, but they are real people.
They are anonymous.
We do have our hero, Alice Reddit, thank you so much. Our bloody legends, Courtney Harris, Ginger Lee, Jeffrey Deed Morgan, Fourth Pebble from the Ground, and Carrie Massac.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys so much for your continued support. Means the world to us, and lots of bonus content coming up for you. I mean, there already is, but there's more coming.
That's
Simple as that. And not only that, if you wanted to donate through PayPal, of course.
If you wanted to, yes.
PayPal. It's not PayPal, is it?
Yeah.
Is it PayPal?
Yeah.
Okay. Two's Company Three's podcast at gmail.com.
What else would it be? Afterpay?
10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, $1 million. Yes. I'm not sure.
As you say to me, we've done this for like 100,000 weeks.
Exactly, that's right.
Yes, you can certainly support us there as well, but any sort of business inquiries is too. If you want to contact us directly outside of social media and you want to work with us on something, Two's Company Three's a podcast at gmail.com. I wish I opened up that email address when we figured out the abbreviation of 2C3 Pod.
I know.
Anyway, we have a new podcast episode every single week, releasing 2 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every Thursday, chock full of news, reviews, what we've watched at home, trailer park, YASSS or past, and streaming service recommendations, like you've just witnessed, but also DTCR.
Does the cinema every week on YouTube. The film you just heard us pick in YASSS or past, we are going to review for a YouTube-only exclusive special. So head on over there, 2C3 Pod, subscribe, ring that bell, like all the videos, and more importantly, watch them.
That's right, of course. But where else can you watch stuff of ours? Twitch.tv/Dylan2C3Pod live right now during this recording. You can hit that like button and follow on all of that jazz. But if you want to just follow on some more, video game streaming content, of course, and just chatting and book reading, whatever else, you can find me, Dylan2C3Pod, but also
Mitchell 2C3 Pod as well for the same kind of jargon.
Yes.
Except very different.
Of course. Yes. Anyway, that's been our show. Thank you, everybody who's tuned into this podcast episode. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, all of that jazz. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dylan, and as always, as a pleasure, with my co-host,
Mitchell. And do not forget, we are Two's Company, and you are the podcast.
I fucked that up, if you couldn't tell.
Fucked up the podcast. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the very end of the episode. As usual, up until the end of the year, we do have movie trivia. Now, each week, we read each other a question, and we see if we can get it right or not. And it really goes to show how shit we are with our movie trivia and knowledge.
Yes, indeed.
Right now, the scoreboard, Mitchell is ahead by 1 point, 19 of 40. Yes. And I'm closely following 18 of 40. I did carry the lead for a while, but you snuck in there.
Oh, you carried it for like 17 weeks.
Yeah, so at the end of all of this, whoever is the winner is shouting the other full expenses paid gold class trip to the cinema with all food that they want. So we'll see whether this is going to be carried across. Anyway, I'll read mine first.
Well, yes.
The historical epic movie Gladiator portrayed the life of legendary Roman general. Where was he from? And this card is printed very strange. Some of the letters are upside down. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. What's his name?
Maximus?
Maximus. Where was he from?
Is it a real place?
Yes.
Athens?
No.
Oh.
Like
Italy?
By watching the movie, I wouldn't have guessed this going from their accents.
Well, isn't it?
Have you lost this? Are you giving up?
It was Dunny-Doo.
Dunny-Doo! It was Spain. Tuggerah. Spain.
I think that's Trujillo.
But
I'm just saying, but
Trujillo?
Yeah, but anyway, okay. I don't think you'll get this, but it is a Nicolas Cage film.
Okay.
Potential. In Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
Okay. Memphis Reigns, Nicolas Cage, has a strange obsession with what car?
With what car?
Oh.
1991 Corolla.
Oh, no, that was Dylan 2C3 Pod. It is a 1967 Shelby Mustang GT500, or codename Eleanor.
Okay, so even if I had seen that film, there's no way I would have got
Not a fucking chance. Maybe anyway, I thought you might have remembered Eleanor, but
so the score remains the same. Neither of us are up this week.
Neither of us are at 50%.
That's right. Thank you for tuning into this. We will see you next week. Stick around for post-show banter on Twitch and Facebook, and we will see you next week.
I'll catch ya.
Bye.